Hello, and thank you for watching our tutorial. In this video, we'll be walking you through troubleshooting Microsoft OneDrive issues utilizing Cloud-Ready Synthetics and Service Watch. A lot of organizations heavily utilize Microsoft OneDrive, whether it be to back files up, share them across the organization, or have access to them from anywhere. Issues with OneDrive can be extremely impactful and costly. When running into issues with OneDrive, you'll find that there isn't much Microsoft provides as far as troubleshooting tools. Since there is no visibility or proactive notifications, troubleshooting issues takes much longer and takes time away from both the engineers working and the end users being affected. While troubleshooting the affected machine or office, you lack visibility into the network issues that could be affecting OneDrive, as well as the application information itself. When using our Cloud-Ready Synthetics and Service Watch desktop, you'll find it much easier to identify the problem, have proactive monitoring from our sensors, and increase the speed you resolve OneDrive issues at. Now, let's say a user called in reporting issues with OneDrive. To start troubleshooting, we'll take a look at our overview dashboard to see if the sensors have detected any issues. From the overview, we can look at the OneDrive sensors. If the icons are red here, the sensors have detected a problem. Now let's pull up our OneDrive sensor. If the sensor was experiencing any issues, we could drill into the alarms to see what automatically generated alarms had been triggered. These alarms are configured during the deployment of the sensor and can trigger on errors, performance issues, or both. The Errors tab will provide you with visibility into the errors the sensor has experienced and at what frequency. The most important tabs at the top while troubleshooting OneDrive will be the Logon, Upload, Download, and Connect tabs. On the Logon tab, the Logon Managed and Federated Logins will reflect how long the logon process is taking. If the sensor is configured to use multi-factor authentication and there's an issue affecting it, the logon times will be much higher. Always remember to compare the metrics to the crowd as well. If you're seeing a spike for the sensor, but the crowd doesn't reflect your environment, you know only you are being affected. In the Upload tab, you'll have metrics reflecting the upload speeds and times as well as search times. For the Download tab, you'll be presented with the download speed and time. If the upload or download speed and times are spiking, it can be caused by bandwidth issues where the sensor is running, but the data is worth comparing to the crowd. If you're seeing spikes in the crowd, the issue is more likely to be on the Microsoft infrastructure. On the Connect tab, you'll see time to first byte and connect time, which point to connection issues such as bandwidth. SSL negotiation spikes are typically related to congested networks, and high DNS times point to poorly optimized DNS configurations. All of these metrics are also available for crowd comparison in the data points details. By selecting a segment, you can compare all of the metrics in one place to the crowd. If you're seeing any issues in the Logon, Upload, Download, or Connect tabs, the network path performance will show you where the slowdowns are occurring from the device running the sensor all the way to the Microsoft infrastructure. Now let's say the sensors were all green and we want to find out why that individual machine is having problems. To do this, we'll use Service Watch Desktop. When pulling up a user's machine, you can use the magnifying glass at the top to search for their device name or username to quickly pull them up. You'll be presented with the device experience score and resource scores. If these scores are lower, it could be the device running out of resources, which you can get more visibility into below. You'll want to check the network latency and utilization to make sure there are no spikes here. You will also want to check recent updates to see if OneDrive was updated, as bad updates could cause issues. And under the crashes by app, make sure that OneDrive isn't constantly crashing. Under the core apps, we can see how OneDrive is utilizing resources by CPU, memory, and disk I/O, and you can drill into OneDrive for even more performance information. The crowd data represents all of your Service Watch desktop devices in your Exoprise tenant. This can help you see if the user is the only one affected or if others are as well. In the Connected Networking tab, you can find OneDrive in here to see the network performance from the user's device. This graph will show you spikes, and by selecting them, you will populate the path trace with that segment's information. The path trace will help you see where the slowdowns are happening. The trace starts from the device at the top and works its way down to the Microsoft network at the bottom. Before we wrap up, I just want to point out another great resource inside of Exoprise for diagnosing OneDrive issues or any core application. The out-of-box app network dashboard provides you with visibility into the TCP/IP and UDP performance. You can view this information by device, ISP, network, and even application. If you hear complaints from users about OneDrive performance, verify that their ISP and network aren't performing poorly. You can also check if any other users are experiencing the issue at the bottom by selecting OneDrive in the application list. This is a great resource when making environmental changes, as well as getting a baseline automatically you can view the trending data from after the changes have been made. As you can see, Exoprise provides you with deep insight into the application performance along with proactive notifications of issues, allowing you to get ahead of them and providing you with all the information needed to troubleshoot OneDrive. That wraps up our video. Thanks for watching.